Well, another school shooting has happened, this time in Nashville, and even though it's not near us, it is still devastating for many parents and kids.
I mean, yeah, it was as news came in yesterday, we were out on the job. We just kept hearing from more parents, more and more parents talking about how frustrating this is once again. Because now we got to go talk to our kids about a school shooting. Health reporter Haley Hernandez talked with a mental health expert to try to give us some advice, because I feel like at some point we run out of things to say.
We do. And that's what I told her. I was like, you know, when I first reported on Sandy Hook, the conversations that we were having with our children were different than they are now, because it's happening more frequently and we can't hide that from them. So, you know, I wanted to go to her and ask her, what words do we tell our children before we're heading to school this morning? And it's not easy. Even the mental health experts say, well, we don't have all of the answers, but the chief clinical officer at J. Flowers Health Institute tells me that there is an appropriate way to talk to your kids. And one of the main things she says is to remove your own anxiety from that conversation.
We want to keep our home life safe and anxiety free as much as possible. Do not have that TV on. Do not let your small kids be watching the news tonight. Do not let them be exposed on the internet to the news of that. That's a way we protect our children. Doesn't mean that it doesn't mean we still aren't working to protect them, but they don't need to be exposed to the knowledge of that and begin fearing that for themselves, because they're going to take their mental attitude and their fear from we parents and how we project ourselves with them.
Yeah, and so notice how that dialogue has changed from, you know, oh, school's a safe place and people are keeping you safe, which they are, to now just knowing that we might want to just protect them and shield them from that information. So she says, you know, don't have the TV on at dinner time. Don't let your children read too much on the internet. Right now, they just need to be shielded a little bit so that they aren't too scared to go to school. One thing that keeps coming up when these school shootings happen is people say, well, now in hindsight, there were red flags. We know that there was a mental health crisis happening with the suspect or with that person who created this terrible tragedy. So knowing the red flags and preventing someone from doing this again is really the only expert advice that we can really offer here. Contact someone, contact a mental health expert on someone's behalf if you have suspicions that they may do something like this.
Just going back really quickly to what the doctor said, I'm not sure that I 100% agree with that, because there are drills that kids do monthly, right? That there's a lockdown drill, and those are scary. My kids come home and they tell me that today was really scary. So I think that they are already scared.
I think it's age appropriate too. You know, I mean, like with little elementary school kids, you know, we're probably not going to have the same conversation as you might with your older elementary school or middle school kids. So you bring up a really good point. I think honesty is good, but not too much information. I think the social media thing comes into play every single time. You know, let's shield them a little bit from that, because there's also a lot of misinformation on social media.
We can do the social media conversations. I think it's almost a totally different one, because they need to be off of that completely for a lot of reasons.
True.
This being just one of them. But I think age appropriate is another thing. I talked to my high schooler who, there was a lockdown recently. Somebody brought a gun on campus, and she comes home. It's like, hey, this is just part of life now. But this is someone who's a teenager who's, you know, had a little...
Are the kids thinking it's part of life, or are they still scared every time it happens?
They're still scared, but the newness is gone. It's not, the shock is gone, if you want to put it that way. It's not like, oh my goodness, I can't believe. Of course you can believe it, because it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And when are you grown-ups going to do something about it?
Right. And so that's what this mental health expert is saying. You know, like, let's stop the argument about politics. Let's really get down to making sure that this doesn't happen. And one of the things that mental health experts always say is that we've got to talk about mental health. This is shedding light on the whole crisis that we've been in since the pandemic started. You know, there's not enough access to help, and there's not enough people understanding who needs help. So if you have any questions, NAMI 988, there's phone numbers that you can call to get help on somebody else's behalf.
All right.
Thanks,
this
Haley.
conversation is going to keep going.
I feel like we've literally just started scratching the
Just
surface, despite the fact this has been going on as long as it has.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's going to keep happening.
Haley, thank you.